Good morning. Thank you very much for joining us here on Times Now. This is the newspaper show and I'm Hina Gambhir. Let's get started and tell you what's making headlines as far as the Times of India this morning is concerned. And the big story that we have for you is about what's happening near the line of actual control. With PLA yet to disengage, army stocks up for harsh Ladakh winter. That's the big story that the Times of India this morning is leading with. It says huge increase in food, fuel, gear and supplies planned in army as army marches on its stomach, but also needs specialized clothing, prefabricated shelters, Arctic tents, fuel and other equipment to sustain itself through the harsh winter of a super high altitude region like eastern Ladakh. Rajnath Singh, India's defense minister, says, be prepared on LAC, LOC. The Indian armed forces should stand ready to swiftly handle any eventuality on the fronts with China and Pakistan. Defense Minister Rajnath Singh said on Wednesday, adding the manner in which Indian Air Force had conducted the Balakot strikes and its rapid development in Ladakh has indeed sent a strong message. Apart from this, Prime Minister Modi yesterday said that few better partners than the United States of America and you can trust us. Making a strong pitch to US investors, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said, India represents rising trade opportunities with a nation that can be trusted and which offers access to a market that has scale and availability of skilled human resources. And at the same summit, S. Jaishankar, foreign minister of the country, said US needs to think beyond its traditional partnerships. India and US need to get past pending problems as beyond trade. There is a much bigger connect, a sort of knowledge innovation. Mike Pompeo, US Secretary of State, meanwhile mentioned that India should reduce reliance on Chinese firms and attract global supply chains. Saddened by the death of 20 Indian soldiers, it is important that democracies like ours work together when we see the challenge posed by Chinese Communist Party. So that was the statement coming from the United States of America's Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo. Then there's an update about the national capital. City government plans zero survey every month with more and more tests. Herd immunity not achieved yet. This is what has been said. The Delhi government will conduct monthly serological survey to assess the prevalence of immunity against COVID-19 among people. India is about to cross 12 lakh mark and record spikes being seen in several states. Vaccine may be priced below 1,000 rupees. Adar Poonawalla, the CEO of Serum Institute, the Indian partner of the Oxford vaccine, wants to keep its price below 1,000 rupees and expects it to start reaching the masses by early next year. Delhi cop found to be reinfected. A Delhi police inspector who first tested positive in May was admitted to a hospital for 7 days. Then he recovered. He was found to have been reinfected after a few days. So reinfection clearly is now emerging as a cause of concern. And ED raids Rajasthan Chief Minister's brother. Congress cries foul. Agrasen Gehlot, the elder brother of Rajasthan Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot, and his firm Anupam Krishi were at the center of nationwide searches carried out by the Enforcement Directorate yesterday. Undermined Rajasthan Speaker to move Supreme Court. Assembly Speaker C.P. Joshi on Wednesday said that he felt his authority being undermined by 2 High Court orders restraining him from taking action against the dissident MLAs. Then 15% pay hike for PSU old private bank staff with effect from 2017. Wage hike effective November 2017. It's going to cost about 7,900 crore annually. Pension contribution to rise to 14% of basic pay, DA instead of 10% now. Incentive for employees of banks reporting operating profit of 5% or more. So there's some positive news coming for the PSU and old private bank staff. Scribe shot in head dies. Cops finally register a harassment FIR. Mayawati says crime virus more active than coronavirus in the state of Uttar Pradesh. Gold, meanwhile, has hit 50,000 rupees per 10 gram again. Then Twitter says will delete Bhushan tweets if told. The matter had gone to Supreme Court. Apart from this, panel will also probe how Dubey got parole. This is the latest about gangster Vikas Dubey. The Supreme Court on Wednesday has approved the UP government's draft notification constituting a 3-member commission headed by former Supreme Court judge, which will inquire into the killing of 8 policemen at Bikru village. Apart from this, Prime Minister Modi had 50+ meetings in 1 month only on the issue of reforms. The chief economic advisor, meanwhile, has said that next stimulus may come after the vaccine. So it is quite possible that some sort of a reform measure could be announced soon, looking at the current condition as far as coronavirus is concerned. Moving on, let's talk about the Navbharat Times now. और यहाँ पर जो पहली खबर है वो गाजियाबाद से जुड़ी हुई है। हमले का शिकार हुए पत्रकार ने दम तोड़ा। दिस द स्टोरी दैट द नवभारत टाइम्स दिस मॉर्निंग इज लीडिंग विद। गाजियाबाद की घटना पर देश भर में गुस्सा है। योगी सरकार से 10 लाख की मदद और साथ ही नौकरी। विपक्ष बोला यूपी में गुंडा राज आ गया है और आयोग जांच करेगा दुबे के कैसे मिल गया था परोल। ये विकास दुबे जो गैंगस्टर है जो एक इनकाउंटर के बाद मारा गया था, पहले एक्सीडेंट हुआ था गाड़ी का और फिर उसके बाद उसको मार गिराया था, उसको लेकर आयोग जो है वो जांच करेगा। कितने लोगों को हुआ है कोरोना? दिल्ली में अब हर महीने सीरो सर्वे किया जाएगा। एक दिन में रिकॉर्ड 28,472 मरीज आए हैं जो ठीक हो गए हैं। और गहलोत के भाई के घर पर छापा, स्पीकर सुप्रीम कोर्ट पहुंचे। इसी के साथ ही राम मंदिर के डिजाइन में बदलाव, अब 2 नहीं 3 मंजिलें होंगी और साथ ही भूमि पूजन में होंगे बस 300 लोग। ये एक और अहम खबर है जो फ्रंट पेज पर ही है नवभारत टाइम्स के। Let's now move on and talk about the Economic Times this morning. The pink paper is leading with what the Prime Minister Modi said yesterday to investors. He said, invest in India, a nation that you can trust. This is what Prime Minister Modi said at the US IBC India Ideas Summit. Prime Minister Modi listed out potential sectors for US investors, saying that India could power global economic recovery. He talked about optimism, self-reliance. India offers a perfect combination of openness, opportunities and options. On the issue of self-reliance, he mentioned that global economic resilience can be achieved by stronger domestic and economic capacities. Then, probe likely to flag 4,000 crore hole in books of Coffee Day. That's another important story. Investigation ordered by Coffee Day Enterprises Board. India keen to join WHO Gavi Alliance, could access vaccine funded by high-income countries without pledging any kind of financial aid. Then, Adar Poonawalla has said that AstraZeneca vaccine doses for phase 3 trials to be sold commercially if okay. And the chief economic advisor saying that fiscal stimulus plan to revive growth, timing may depend on vaccine development. That's another story that the Economic Times today has mentioned on the front page. Let's be more city specific and talk about what's happening as far as the national capital is concerned. My colleague Parveena joining us this morning to talk to us about the big update coming from the national capital. Parveena, so Sero survey is going to now happen every month.
Well, coronavirus has been one of the major bone of contention in the national capital, and we have seen that how, the numbers have grown, and again, how the state government has got the numbers down. And one of the latest serological surveys says that, all those districts they have checked on which has contributed to these numbers, and the central district of the national capital surprisingly gives the highest number. And remember, Central District is one of the upscale area of the national capital, and that kind of have contributed the most. And the rural areas, so to say, the Southwest District, or districts which we expected because infrastructurally also they would have contributed more, did less. And the reasons which are seen by the experts and authorities could be that the upscale areas or the Central District had more movement and more activities going on, and where the rural areas could, with the help of authorities, did not really step out, did not have to step out, and could, comply by all the rules which were stated by the authorities. But having given the situation, the state government has decided that every 1st and 5th of the month, they will continue to do such survey, which helps them to take further steps to control the situation and to bring down the numbers.
All right. Thank you very much, Parveena, for the moment, for joining us with all of those details. Let's now move on and talk about the Mumbai edition of the Times of India this morning. It says that first phase of Sero survey is over, results not declared. So this is about Mumbai. Over 10,500 cases were reported in a day in Maharashtra. Nearly half of them came from Pune alone. Then another update is that the Maharashtra state government is preparing some sort of an SOP, standard operating procedure, for gyms to open, rules out any more large lockdowns in the state of Maharashtra, even though the numbers continue to rise sharply. Arunil, my colleague, joining us on the broadcast this morning. Arunil, we are also being told that plasma banks will be open in Dharavi and Malegaon.
Well, that is a significant announcement which Maharashtra Health Minister Rajesh Tope has made. He basically said that Dharavi and Malegaon both are the major success stories of the Maharashtra government. Malegaon also, if you remember, had a significant number of coronavirus positive cases. And Dharavi also, most of the people in Dharavi, the numbers have reduced very drastically. So what Rajesh Tope basically said is like many people over there have got treated from the coronavirus, or they might have had coronavirus and they didn't know about it. So antibodies are there. So it will help in developing these plasma banks in these two regions, as well as those hospitals which have a college attached to it. There also plasma banks will be open. Plasma therapy is also doing reasonably well in treating critical coronavirus patients. As you mentioned about gyms, yes, that SOP has been given. And in fact, yesterday, Maharashtra recorded the single highest day spike with respect to the number of cases. More than 10,500 cases were recorded in the state of Maharashtra, Pune being drastically affected. But we get to know that the lockdown which was in place in Pune, that will not be continued.
All right. Thank you very much, Arunil, for the moment for joining us with all of those details. Let's now move on and talk about the Kolkata edition of the Times of India this morning. And the big story is about lockdown that has been imposed in West Bengal again. The top story here is lockdown, Bengal, Kolkata in critical phase as COVID spikes. Apart from this, flight shift requests keeps airlines flyers on tenterhooks. And then another important update is that the bed crunch has forced city hospitals to sign patient transfer pacts as well. New strategies are now being implemented. Tamal Saha, my colleague, joining us on the broadcast. More on this. Tamal, good morning. The biggest news is that how lockdown has been imposed once again, Bengal, Kolkata in critical phase at this point in time.
Well, that's right. In fact, the state government has implemented complete lockdown today. And in fact, there would be complete lockdown in the next couple of days as well, one on Saturday and one on coming Wednesday. The state is of the opinion that at this point in time, in order to break the chain, certain measures have been adopted. But there, we also saw how this has led to a lot of anxiety especially among flyers who were coming back to Kolkata. And in a last moment decision, it was decided that all flights would then be allowed after 8 p.m. so that people do not have a problem commuting back to their respective homes, because private and public transportation have been completely restricted for the day.
All right. Thank you very much, Tamal, for the moment for joining us with all of those details. In fact, the Kolkata edition has also reported that banks will remain shut on all lockdown days, an important piece of information for the people of West Bengal. Let's now move on and talk about the Bengaluru edition of the Times of India this morning. And here, the big story is Karnataka's contact tracing drops from 47 per patient in June to 6. That's an update here. Karnataka's COVID toll has crossed 1,500. Sent back by 3 hospitals, a COVID doctor loses 28-day battle to coronavirus. We will be going across to my colleague Deepak Bopanna to get you more details on this one, because this is now becoming a big issue. Lack of basic facilities and lack of beds, which is causing many deaths as well across the country, not just in Karnataka. And here we're talking about a COVID doctor who loses 28-day battle to virus because he was sent back by 3 different hospitals. We'll try and find out what the reason really was as to why was a doctor sent back. Were there no beds available, or if there were any other conditions that were responsible? Apart from this, buses are back on roads, but virus-wary commuters are staying away. That's the story in Karnataka. Tech capital reboots after 7 days of downtime. Deepak Bopanna is now joining us on the broadcast. Deepak, good morning. On the front page, it's a story about a COVID doctor who has lost 28-day battle to virus. He was sent back by 3 hospitals. What really happened?
Well, he was, he was in the front line. He and his family members as well now have been tested positive. Of course, he's lost his life initially while they tried to go to the hospital. About 3 of them are not admitting him because at that point in time, he did not have a COVID test that was done. And all the hospitals in transition between, symptoms and before getting a COVID test done were not admitting patients. And finally, a few family members had to sit in front of a hospital, protest, and that's when they actually admitted him. But of course, the condition deteriorated because the most key aspect in the battle against coronavirus is early detection and early admission and early treatment. And the delay is just going to make things worse, and that's what happened in this particular case. Now the family members, of course, are devastated. And we also believe another family member or two recently lost his life to COVID. He too was a doctor.
All right. Thank you very much, Deepak, for the moment, for joining us with all of those details. Let's now move on and talk about the Chennai edition of the Times of India this morning. And the big story on the front page is about Tamil Nadu's COVID count. Remember, Tamil Nadu is the second worst affected state in the country after Maharashtra. It continues to remain so. State corrects data. It has added 444 more deaths to Chennai's COVID toll. City's mortality rate because of this has jumped from 1.4% to 1.6%. And this because earlier, the Times of India only had reported that 236 COVID-19 deaths in city were not recorded by the state government there, and now they have been added. Shabir, my colleague, joining us on the broadcast. Shabir, 444 deaths. I mean, what's the real story? Are they not being reported by the hospitals? Why is it not reflecting in the daily count that we are seeing properly?
Well, there was a controversy in Tamil Nadu where several questions were raised with regard to the, with regard to the number of deaths that are taking place, particularly in the city of Chennai, because there were documents that surfaced from internal documents of the Chennai Corporation, which suggested that more than 236 deaths were unreported. And after Times of India highlighted the story, the corporation, the Tamil Nadu Health Department constituted a committee to reconcile the number of deaths that have taken place in the city with regard to COVID-19. And only hospital deaths were reported. And most of the house deaths or deaths that are taking place in the private hospitals that were not reflecting in the daily count. So that was the biggest charge that was leveled against the Chennai Corporation, because they said that there was some kind of clerical mistake. The Chennai Corporation has not been updating the health department. The private hospitals are not updating the health department. So there was some kind of controversy surrounding that. And finally, the state government has admitted that 444 deaths have been included and it has been reconciled.
All right. Thank you very much, Shabir, for the moment, for joining us with all of those details. Let's talk about the news from around the world. Big story is that United States of America has given China 72-hour deadline to close consulate in Houston, says move in response to spying. Beijing now vows to retaliate. Taiwan votes to rebrand China Airlines. That's another story. Business groups sue U.S. over H-1B and other visa curbs. Trump backs masks as U.S. again sees 1,000 COVID deaths in a single day. Humans arrived in North America 30,000 years ago. This is what a study has indicated. That's also the Times of India this morning has reported. Brazilian president has tested positive for COVID-19 for the third time in a row. U.S. has inked nearly $2 billion deal for 600 million doses of COVID vaccine. Pakistani top court has suggested banning YouTube and other social media apps over criticism. Pakistan has also warned TikTok over immoral content. That's another story here. And best-selling author William Dalrymple and 180 other historians are seeking a review of UK citizenship test. That's also something that the Times of India has reported this morning. Moving on now, and let's talk about what's making headlines as far as the world of sports is concerned. Here, Jofra, a role model, should act responsibility. Pacer has big role to play in UK's Black Lives Matter movement. This is what Panesar has told the Times of India. In fact, Times of India spoke to former England spinner Monty Panesar on the Jofra Archer incident. Apart from this, can't allow athletes to self-nominate for Arjuna. Indian athletes could be allowed to directly nominate themselves for the prestigious Rajiv Gandhi Khel Ratna and Arjuna awards from the next year without having to seek recommendations for their awards applications from the competent authorities and persons. Hinting at a policy change, the government is contemplating authorizing athletes themselves to directly send in their applications to the sports ministry. So that's about the world of sports this morning. With this, it's a wrap. Thank you very much for staying with us here on the Newspaper Show.